Xiao Yuan is back. Xiao Yuan just looks so much more mature, so much more confident, just completely different from the way he was before he went abroad to study. Back then, he was really attached to Wei Qian and really didn't want to do anything or go anywhere outside of his Wei Qian bubble. And even Wei Qian got used to that. When they were having breakfast after a night of drinking, Xiao Yuan was serving him breakfast and handing out glasses of water. The first glass of water he handed was not to Wei Qian, but rather to their boss. The old Xiao Yuan would have handed it straight to Wei Qian, but this time around he reached for the person who's closest to him, which happened to be their boss. And Wei Qian did not expect that. I'm not sure if that was a deliberate move from Xiao Yuan, but it definitely didn't go unnoticed because Sun Pang also noticed that. And I'm not entirely sure how Wei Qian feels about all these things and the fact that his brother is now back. I'm sure that he's happy to see him back, but given the amount of time that they've been apart from each other, I'm sure he's had plenty of time to think about or explore or process Xiao Yun's feelings for him. I wonder if he's low-key hopeful that he can now explore and even entertain the feelings that he thought Xiao Yun still has for him, not that Xiao Yun is back. I know that he initially told Xiao Yun to forget about his feelings for him because nothing good is ever gonna come out of it. But Xiao Yun's response was probably a bit of a surprise for Wei Qian because it was so mature considering how he used to be. He told him that he'd be happy just to see the person he likes happy, even if he's not with him. Personally, I don't know if I'll be able to do that. Just honestly speaking, if that's the case, then I would rather be just away from all of that. I think just knowing me and knowing my limitations, I think just being removed from that situation would probably be best for me, and just to avoid any possible future conflict. Still be happy for that person, but just be away from me. So does that make me an immature or bitter person? Maybe, but again, for the sake of everyone's safety and peace of mind, I think there needs to be a clear separation. That's just me. Obviously, this is not the case for Xiao Yun. Even with that response from Xiao Yun, he still didn't close his doors. He still tried to help Wei Qian express and explore what he really wants and what he really thinks about all these things. Because Wei Qian is a man of few words, obviously we all know that, and especially in the previous episode, like I believe Marie mentioned that that episode was heavily on self-reflection or introspection, and in this episode he really doesn't say much either. And Xiao Yun knows that there's a lot going on in his brother's mind, and he's trying to help him kind of express that, you have anything to say to me, or what is it really that you want this between us? Do you not want this because you're just not feeling it, or you don't want it because you're afraid of what others might say about you and me being in a relationship? What is it really that you want? It'll be interesting to see Wei Qian's response in the next episode, but I'm just very impressed by the amount of growth that Xiao Yun has done throughout the years that he's been away from the family. Now he's coming home, very expressive about how he feels, very eloquent about the way he talks, and Xiao Yun has been very helpful to his brother in terms of helping him process what he just learned about their sister and Sun Pang's relationship. And that scene where Wei Qian found out about Sun Pang and Xiao Bao's relationship, that scene was so chaotic. I felt bad for him, but at the same time I also wanted to laugh because of the reaction that everybody else had in the room. It seems like everyone has an idea of what might be happening between Sun Pang and Xiao Bao, except for Wei Qian. So I understand why he was upset. Obviously, he's the older brother, he raised this girl, and he's been friends with Sun Pang for so long that them being in a relationship and everybody else finding out about it before he does, I would be mad too, especially by the way he found out about him. He saw the hickeys on both of them and he connected the dots, and oh my gosh, you're sleeping with my sister. But I feel like he's gonna come around, he'll just need more time. Right now, it's just very difficult for him to process. Even when he was talking to his boss, when his boss was checking up on him, seeing how he's doing, why he's still mad, he was like, has this ever happened to you? What if it happens to your sister? How would you feel? How would you feel if you were in my shoes? So I totally understand. But I wonder if you're also mad because it seems to be easier for others to be in a relationship with the person that they like. Because for him, it seems to be a challenge for him to give in to his feelings because of the circumstances. So I don't know if all of that frustration and anger was solely because Sanpang is sleeping with his sister, or was part of it also coming from his own experience? Was the call coming from inside the house? Was he mad too because he can't just be in a relationship as easily as Sanpang and Zhao Bao? Maybe. But aside from that, I'm sure it's hard for him to get used to his siblings being all grown up now and making major decisions without really having to fully consult with him, without having to tell him prior to making the move. Kind of like losing that sense of being needed by your siblings. I would imagine this is the type of feelings that parents would feel once their kids grow up and they kind of make their own decisions and no longer need their parents' guidance and help as much now that they're able to make their own decisions. So I feel like that might be what Wei Qian is feeling, coming to terms with the feeling of not being needed as much by his siblings, which I'm sure is very difficult to get used to. So, but on the next episode, it looks like the mob is back. I had a feeling that we hadn't seen the last of them. Clearly they're back. I don't know what they want this time around. But my chain-smoking doctor is back. I am very excited to see him. I don't know what he's going to be doing here. He looks a mess as always and I love it. Anyway, that is it for us today. Thank you so much for being here and thank you for your time. Before you go, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, don't forget to hit that notification bell so you won't miss my next video. Until then, I will see you later.